overall tie. And it all comes down to the third men's singles. And it's Kanta TSUNEYAMA for Japan against JORGENSEN. JORGENSEN, the former European champion, the former world #2, coming back from serious injury. Well, he's vastly experienced against a man 9 years his junior. So if it comes down to experience, one has to favour Denmark with JORGENSEN. But it's not just experience. Sport is about handling pressure, and this is a pressure situation. And it's always an ironic thing to me, Steen, that in these Thomas and Uber Cup competitions, that the pressure, if it goes the full distance, always falls on the lowest ranked singles player to play in that tie.
Yeah, and they're standing out there with mixed feelings. Well, at least I think TSUNEYAMA is standing there with mixed feelings. Basically wouldn't like to play because then Japan would be in the final, and JORGENSEN, he's just dying to get a chance to play.
Yeah. Yes, I was talking to him earlier in the week, and he was saying, this tournament is my target for the year.
Yeah.
This is my goal. Because, of course, because he's been out injured, his world ranking has dropped. He doesn't qualify for the World Championships. He's already played the European Championships, where he won a bronze medal. But he only got into the European Championships as a wild card.
And he's not even sure of getting into Denmark Open, his home tournament, because his ranking is as low as it is. So tournament-wise, he's come back using the protected ranking at a little bit of a bad time.
So the first meeting between these two, but I'm pretty certain there's been video analysis. And both sets of coaches will have talked about the tactics required. But this young man, well, he was silver medalist at the Asian Junior Championships of 2014, lost the final to Shiyu Chi, who of course is now the All England champion. And it's interesting that the Dane, you say, will absolutely relish this opportunity. I wonder what this man is feeling. He's going to turn 22 next month. TSUNEYAMA, born in Saga Prefecture in western Honshu. He's 34 in the world ranking at the moment, but a total of 5 weeks across 3 different spells at 27. He was actually selected for the quarterfinal yesterday against France. It was due to be the 5th match against Popov. Wasn't contested because, of course, Japan had already won that quarterfinal tie 3-1, which emphasises the point that Steen was just making, that he was hoping that he wouldn't have to play, because that would have meant that, having seen Japan 2-1 up, that they had already won. But that's not the case. We've got the privilege and the pleasure of seeing this third singles. 30-year-old JORGENSEN was world #2. Currently 55, but only 6 tournaments towards that 55 ranking. So his quarterfinal match against Korea, that wasn't contested, against the 2013 World Junior Champion. As we look at our umpire, Jitorut Tanua Karapat from Thailand, Liu Yun from China, our service judge. So JORGENSEN has already proved himself, having come back from injury. He reached the final of the Swiss Open earlier this year. That was his first tournament for 8 months.
And on my left, Japan, represented by Kanta TSUNEYAMA. Denmark serve. Le ball. Play. Service over. 1-0.
Well, Tsuneyama made a bit of a breakthrough, I thought, last year when he won 2 tournaments. He started off winning the Austrian International Challenger event, but I thought the breakthrough was winning the Canadian Grand Prix when he beat Kento Momota, who we saw in the first match today in that final. He's going long.
Service over.
Yeah, he's
1.
trusted with a tough task here, Tsuneyama, and I must say that if he wins this, it's well deserved, because I can't think of a player I would rather have in third men's singles in a decisive match right now than Jan Jorgensen.
Oh, there's a challenge here from Jorgensen.
He saw it plumb on the line, that smash from Tsuneyama.
Yes, I think Jorgensen does too, because he's handed the shuttle back. So, when you say you wouldn't want anyone else, or he would certainly be top of the list in your opinion?
Of the players that can play third singles here in this tournament.
Right.
If, and that's one big if his body is okay. He was playing a long match against Iskandar Sulkanain.
Yes, an hour and 20 minutes.
And he was quite satisfied that Denmark finished off Korea 3-0 yesterday, so that he wouldn't have to play. But it's an experienced player that Tsuneyama faces, so he definitely has to play his best, in my opinion, to take this match. Jorgensen has played at the biggest stages. He's won the Thomas Cup, so I don't think he gets that nervous here. On the other hand, he's coming back from injury, so I still feel that he's hungry. This is what he's been dreaming of for those 6, 9, 12 months where he's been feeling a pain in his foot. Coming back to play these kind of matches. The pace could be the question.
What do you mean by that, Steen?
If Tsuneyama can play at a pace that Jan has not experienced so far since his comeback. He knows how to play in windy conditions, Jorgensen. 3 years in a row, he reached the final of the Indonesia Open and also won his World Championship bronze medal in Istora Senayan. So he should be able to handle the conditions.
Yes, he was actually the #2 seed in those World Championships in Jakarta. Lost out to Lee Chong Wei in that semi-final, and then lost in the final.
Good deception.
Very good.
Service over. 5-4.
Jorgensen was playing second men's singles in the last Thomas Cup campaign, wasn't it?
He was, but he was a bit injured back then, so he didn't play all the matches. Against Malaysia, he was not selected. Wittinghus played the second men's singles back then, and Emil Holst played the third. Played in the final, beat Anthony Ginting. Surprise selection from Indonesia, who chose to not play Jonathan Christie because he had a poor record against Janno Jorgensen.
And if you're wondering what's happened to Emil Holst these days, well, he's just announced his retirement from international competition.
Yeah, yes. Missed it.
Well, that's the sort of miss, Steen, that I always think defines the difference between physical fitness and match fitness.
Yeah. Positive rally for TSUNEYAMA, whom we must expect has the best stamina. It's mostly been Jorgensen scoring the points in this match, also the Japanese points.
Yeah, with errors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely block. Oh, yes, well taken. Just telling Jorgensen, don't take a drink, you can tell down.
Service over. 6-8.
Well left.
7-8.
How many is hit long? 3 or 4?
9-7.
I think it's more than that.
Word. Oh, there's another one gone long. Well, that was great retrieving from TSUNEYAMA.
And with all these shots from Jorgensen gone long, I'm of the impression that the drift alongside the court must have changed again.
Do you know, that was just going through my mind too. Do you think is the doors open or something, or with less crowd in makes a difference? All I know now is that it's a 4-point advantage for Tsuneyama here in the opening game. Well, I remember Tsuneyama at the German Super 300 event just prior to the All England Championships. I remember him taking Lin Dan to 3 games, only losing 21-18 in the deciding game. Oh, that's landed in. So he shouldn't be underestimated. He may not be one of the big names yet, but he's a very talented youngster. Oh, well, that proves what I've just said. Good movement, good awareness of where to play the smash. Adrift.
It's on the line.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I was just thinking that he needs to soon find the correct length on his shots, Jorgensen, because if you don't find it eventually, you will get quite confused about the drift and the conditions. I think for Tsuneyama, it's about keep the shuttle moving all the time, get Jorgensen moving between front court and back court, side to side, not too much flat game.
Is that? Oh my goodness. Well, it's a couple of times he's used that acute angle from deep in his forehand corner, Jorgensen, and he's used it to great effect. Four straight points. What's changed, Steen?
Well, Jorgensen has kept the shuttles inside the court and been able to put some power in some of his shots. The flat drives there, and he's gotten a chance with the smashes a couple of times. So what was that called? Oh, yeah. So he's just that gifting points away, and we haven't seen Tsuneyama score that many points. He's had a couple of nice smashes, but that's about it. So you could say that it's a lot up to Jorgensen, and if he manages to maintain this, then suddenly Tsuneyama will be forced to try and create his own luck.
Well, on a run of 7 straight points, Jorgensen goes into the lead.
Shots like that from around shoulder height, both forehand and backhand. Same kind of shots where Kento Momota has so fantastic touch. Jorgensen is also quite good at those shots, which is very much needed when you play in drifty conditions. Shots that are not costing any energy for yourself, but also preventing the opponent from actually really doing anything dangerous on them.
Well, the run of points comes to an end with 7 straight points. Has really got the Dane back into this match. Oh, goodness. That was fast onto that. And it's good skill to make that kill. I didn't think that was such a bad net shot from Tsuneyama.
So quick on that first step towards the net.
Yeah, see how he brushes over the shuttle.
It's like he takes it up and down a little bit, actually. I think it's not very much over the top of the tape. Sort of a top spin.
Yeah.
Service over, 15-14.
He's come back in.
On the line.
The drifters brought it back in.
I think it's an okay plan that Tsuneyama is playing at the moment. But can he maintain it if he drops the first game? Does he have the nerve to do it? Trying to wear down Jorgensen.
Yes, because you think the Japanese player has got the better stamina, don't you?
I think so. He's a bit younger, and he hasn't been out for 6 to 9 months.
No.
Service over, 15-16.
So the best thing he can do, Tsuneyama, is of course securing the first game. racket by Janu Jorgensen. I don't know if the grip had become slippery.
Yes, I think that's what he was indicating to the umpire, that he needed to change the racket. He was pointing to the grip. So all level. 16 all.
Defense.
Yeah, weathered the storm. And as soon as he had the opportunity to hit the smash, he's an outright winner.
I would expect him to target that backhand side of Janu Jorgensen. He's been fairly successful. At least nothing bad has happened when he's hit towards his forehand side. He's often been lifted, long cross. Seems like he's got a little bit more success on the backhand side of the Dane.
He's missed it. Yeah, missed it by some considerable margin. So now it's 4 straight points to Tsuneyama. Irritated that they're taking so long in between rallies. Oh, that's clever. Oh,
it's gone long.
It's gone long. Tsuneyama was nowhere near it. 5 straight points now to the Japanese player. Quick, very quick.
Always been extremely fast forward, Janu Jorgensen. Also when following up from smashes from the backcourt.
So there's just 1 point in it now. That was loose.
It's gone long again.
Yeah. So game point opportunities for Japan.
I think he's put more than 10 shots long, Janu Jorgensen.
Really? I know it's been a lot. That's half Tsuneyama's points. There's another. Opening game to Kanta TSUNEYAMA. And Japan just one game away from reaching their second Thomas Cup final. Well, we now know that China awaits the winner of this tie in Sunday's final, having beaten the 13-time former champion Indonesia in the other semi-final.
Second game, level, play.
That's a well-constructed rally.
It's going to be very interesting to see whether Tsuneyama can hit the back line on the far side of the court. If that's not the case, then he will have to play a more offensive playing style, in my opinion.
Service over, 1 love.
Gone wide. Wonderful defense on the forehand side from Tsuneyama.
Service over, 1-all.
Missed it.
Service over.
Well, he was lucky to get away with that, Jan Jorgensen.
Yeah, it's very rarely it pays off to have second thoughts about leaving or returning the shot. Good shot.
Yeah.
Service over, 2-all.
It's gone wide.
Yeah, Tsuneyama even had time to look down at the line, look back up to the shuttle, get his spatial awareness before making a decision to leave it.
Service over, 3-all.
Pushed it long.
Service over,
talked to some of the Danish players at breakfast, and they say, of course you can put it long on both sides if it's these flat shots or flat lifts. It's definitely possible. So perhaps a little bit too much adrenaline in the forearm. So far has done an excellent job, Tsuneyama.
Yeah.
He's managed to survive long enough to push Jorgensen to shots that he doesn't master today.
Now Tsuneyama's put one long.
Service over. 4-5.
Oh, that's
Long
going
again.
well wide and long.
Service over. 6-4.
Just sense that Tsuneyama, if he wins a couple of quick points here, his confidence will grow, and I have a feeling he could run away with this.
Yeah.
So from a Danish perspective, it's very important that Jorgensen keeps it tight at the moment, score-wise. Would you like to see the Dane showing a little more urgency within the rallies? To me, he's just playing the shuttle around.
Yeah, when he makes these changes of pace that normally gives him the advantage. The problem is that he seems to be so tense that he can't really get the touch back in his hand or forearm after these changes of pace. And the way I see it, there's no need to try and hit the back line. I mean, it's not like Tsuneyama has been threading smashes down on Jan Jorgensen at all. So can afford to play a little bit safe on the back line. In fact, it might actually be an advantage if Tsuneyama chooses to attack. Might give Jorgensen a counter-attacking possibilities. Good defense. It's gone wide.
Oh, there's a challenge here from Tsuneyama. Well, I thought that was out, but we'll wait for Hawkeye to adjudicate for us.
It will be the smallest of margins if it catches the line, I think.
Yeah.
No.
Good call, line judge.
Challenges unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 6-7. Play.
It's a good angle.
Yeah, and clever moving Jorgensen from side to side. And that back at that side, and across back again.
Play.
Oh, it's going to land in.
Yeah, that's a great defensive shot. really the kind of shot that will make it difficult for the Dane to follow up on his attack. And he's been varying his attack, Janno Jorgensen, and I think actually he needs to use his power attack a bit more to sort of get the respect. It might be that variation is needed later on the second or third attacking shot, but in the beginning I think he also needs to let a little bit of steam go.
Yeah, with the power play. I think is dangerous times for Denmark.
He's doing a really good job, Tsuneyama, in
he is, isn't he?
Putting pressure on Janno Jorgensen on the back court. Got really good length on his clears and also really good height, and prevents the Dane from attacking too much, and he gets a little bit too defensive in my opinion. Just plays those long, high clears, and that's not really getting him anywhere. Still long again.
Yeah. So to the mid-game interval, Tsuneyama with a 5-point advantage. I have to say, he is looking very good at the moment. Obviously didn't get a chance to hear Penny Gunnarsson there. But your advice, Steen, given what you've just said, use a bit of power earlier on.
And don't allow Tsuneyama to play all four corners. So I think this match is decided within the next 3 rallies.
Wow. Indecision on the back line there from Tsuneyama.
7-11.
But that's the sort of rally with, I know what Jorgensen is trying to do. He's trying to put a bit of height on his clears to make sure they stay in, like that one there. But to me, it's there is no urgency about it. What's it achieving?
He's hoping that the opponent is losing the match for him.
No. Well, that's clearly wide. I thought he was going to challenge there.
12-7.
And Tsuneyama can be satisfied just exchanging points from now on. And now he's taking a 2-1 lead. Looks really, really good for Japan in this third men's singles. It's going wide.
Very, very well played by this young man, Tsuneyama. And I think we're almost at the point of no return.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't think Jorgensen has the power to attack Tsuneyama anymore. If he has, then when he's at the back line, he needs to play a pressure shot towards the middle of the court, middle of the middle line, to see if he can get Tsuneyama into this flat game. But he's handled himself well. Kanta TSUNEYAMA. Good lift.
Yeah, it was a remarkable lift. He was under all sorts of pressure. Look at that. Gives it lots of height. Gets it deep in court as well. So now an 8-point advantage. 6 points away from getting Japan to a second Thomas Cup final. Ooh. Yeah, that was a shot to me that said that Jorgensen just does not have the belief.
Yeah.
16-7. Service over. 10-16.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
9-16.
No, he asks to towel down.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if he's got a slippery grip, he should be allowed to change his racket as well.
It's another good lift.
It's
Yeah,
gone wide.
Service over. 7.
too many unforced errors. The lack of match fitness from Jorgensen is beginning to tell.
It's going for the lines. I mean, go for the middle line and see if you can play some flat game. But, it looks over for a 30-year-old Dane. 2 years ago, it was the singles that secured Denmark the Thomas Cup. 3 straight wins in the final against Indonesia. Today, it can be the singles that prevents them from playing another final.
That's a magnificent smash. Moves back in court very quickly. Three points away from a third match in the tie, a third and decisive winning match in the tie.
Service over. 10-18.
He was standing at the right place, TSUNEYAMA.
Another one goes wide. 2 tantalising points away from a second Thomas Cup final for Japan.
It's a very decisive victory. I mean, there's none of the three singles have been under any pressure.
No, you're right.
Kanta TSUNEYAMA, Kento Momota, and Kenta Nishimoto all been clearly better than their opponents.
Challenge here from TSUNEYAMA. Well, he was pretty animated about the way he challenged.
Had a hit the outer part of the line,
Yeah. So it is match point opportunities.
Service over. 11.
This time. And Japan reached the Thomas Cup final once again. Japan celebrate, but Jan-O Jorgensen distraught by the side of the court, crouching down, head in hands. I think he's on the verge of tears. Well, TSUNEYAMA goes and thanks his opponent, but the victory was emphatic. 21-18, 21-11 in 47 minutes.
Match won by Japan. 21-18, 21-11.
The umpire confirms the score. And of course, as we look at the last rally again, it means that 4 years after their first Thomas Cup final, Japan will contest the final once more. Their opponents tomorrow, China. Now, when you consider that Japan came to these Thomas Cup finals and in the group stage they weren't even seeded. Oh dear, look at Jorgensen. Well, that's the double-edged sword of sport. Ecstasy and elation for one player, disappointment and distress for the other. Well, Steen, you were right. It was the singles players that, from Japan, there is a new wave of singles players and they're all hugely talented and they have got their team through to the Thomas Cup final.
Extremely deserved win by the Japanese. As I said, if TSUNEYAMA can beat experienced Jorgensen, they've definitely deserved it. And he could.
So confirmation that Japan will be in the final of the Thomas Cup on Sunday because they've beaten Denmark 3-2 today. It all started with Kento Momota, the former world #2, beating the current world #1 in 2 straight games. And the second game really was a runaway for the Japanese player. We did wonder about the selection in the first men's doubles, but it was a master decision by the Danish coaches because Mathias Bo and Mads Conrad beat Komura and Sonoda, the World Championship bronze medalists, in 2 straight games. But as we've just been emphasising, it's been the singles players from Japan. Nishimoto beating Vittinghus in 50 minutes in his match. And then in the men's doubles, well, the Danes, the European champions, Astrup and Rasmussen, had to come from a game down. That was the only match, the second men's doubles, that went the full distance, and it was 1 hour and 17 minutes. And quite frankly, in the last match, TSUNEYAMA was too good for Jan-O Jorgensen, the former world #2. 21-18, 21-11 in 47 minutes. So that means that it will be China in the final. China, the 9-time former champions, in their first final for 6 years in the Thomas Cup. The winners from 4 years ago, Japan, they will contest just their second Thomas Cup final on Sunday with their victory, as we've just witnessed. But China beating Indonesia 3-1. So, of course, tomorrow it is the Yuba Cup final. The Total BWF Yuba Cup final will start at 1 p.m. local time. That's 0600 GMT. It's Japan, the 5-time former champions, up against the hosts, Thailand. It should be a great match and a great atmosphere. From all of us here in Bangkok, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.